Hey everyone, welcome back to Codezilla. Today we are again back with another problem solving session. So today we will be solving another problem. It will be more of a logical problem instead of just having those like what we were doing earlier was like terminologies and solving those terminologies like palindrome, Armstrong number, etc. But now let's move on to some of the questions, like a problem solving question. So our week is gone. Now from this week onwards, we will be solving our questions, which is more of a logical based question. So now let's get started. So in today's video, we will be covering up the question which we have to find the second largest element in an array. So this is the question which we have. So what does the question state to us? Like we will be given an array, and what we have to do is we have to find the second largest element in that array. Okay, let's try to do it at least. And so this is the problem statement which we have. Uh, so I don't think so, but let's still take a screenshot of it, and then let's go to let's start doing it. Yeah. Okay. So now let's get started. This is our question. Now we will go through this question and try to find out what all are the things which we need to work on. So first of all, we will be given an array. Okay, so array will be input, and uh, things which you have to notice. First one is duplicates may be present. Along with that, uh, if no element like no such element is there, but if all the elements are is of same, we have an array which have four elements and all are six, then which is the second largest? There is no one. Then we have to return minus one. Okay. So array will be given to us which have some values. We have to return the second largest value. Now, what all are the approach which we can follow here while solving this problem? So now let's figure out that. If we think, or if we take the case of this example 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, in this case, what we can see, like the second largest will be 6. So we can print out 6 as the answer. So that's all. There is nothing to understand too much about the problem statement. We just have to find the intuitions. So you might be thinking, like, if you are just a beginner, you might think, okay, if we have to find the second largest, in this we can see it is in sorted order. So what we can do, if we can take an array, if we can take an array, in that array, if there are values which are in scattered form, if we take this one only, if it is like this 2, 4, 8, 6, 5, if we sort it, if we sort it, then we will get 2, 4, 5, 6, 8, and in that, if we will just take the second last value, if we take out just the ARR, means if this ARR is like this, if we take out the second last value, means whatever the size is, or we can say the minus 2 value, in that case, we will be getting second last. And you might be thinking and going for this approach, and you might pass some of the test cases if we go up with this approach. So now let's quickly do this only. If we go here, like I have told you in the beginning only, like try to solve in these online compilers and different competitive compilers. Like right now, today we will be doing it in Coding Ninjas. So now let's get started, I think. So first of all, you can see that the array which we are getting, is it in vector int? Nothing matters. It is just like an array. We will be talking about vector in the upcoming sessions. So what we can do is, if we take this array arr dot sort, okay, sorry, it is in vector form. So in vector, what we have to write, sort arr dot begin, arr dot end. So it is sorted. Now we have to return, what we have to return is ARR, n is the size of array. So if I will go n uh, minus 1, it will be giving me the last, and n minus 2, it will be giving me the second last. So now if I will run this and try to see, okay, so what happens here is I will be able to pass two of the test cases because our approach is correct. Like if we get something like this in which we can solve it off, then it will be easy. But what is the actual problem which we will be facing here is if we have duplicates, just suppose of this test case. Now if we take this test case specifically and pasting it here and seeing what problem did happen here. So we'll increase the font of this to 24. Let's remove this for now. So if we have this as an input, now let's sort it. Just follow the method which we have thought for the first instance. The smallest number is, I think, minus 40. Okay. Then after that there is minus 25. Then there is minus 25. Then there is minus 10. There is minus 10. So after sorting it, it will be the order. You're completely fine with the minus values. Like greater the minus value is, more negative it is, more smaller it is. So that's how it will be. Now let's see our problem statement. What our problem statement want in return? It wants the second largest. So in this, second largest is 25, minus 25, because minus 10 and minus 10 are equal only. But what we are returning is we are returning minus 10. So in the case when the greater element is duplicated, in that case we will be having issues. So our sort or our first intuition might run for some of the test cases, but not run for all of them. Now what we can do is we have to figure out the second largest number. So now let's do with another approach. What if what if we can iterate in an array, or if we take two pointers as 1 and 2, and like initializing them with int min, or what does this int min means is the minimum value possible. You can also take like minus 9999 or something like that if you are solving it in your system. But what happens in the competitive compilers, they are negative values, they are bigger negative values. So for that we are taking int min. It means just the minimum value which is possible. After that we will iterate in our array from with the help of I. And what we can do is if we have to find the second largest, if we get a number, if we get a number ARR of I, if whatever number we are getting, it is smaller than our 1, or 1 we can say the first or last, first or second, let's take second. So if we take ARR of I, if we see if ARR of I is smaller than our first, and it is ARR of I is also greater than our second. What does this mean? What does this mean? Or if I will write this, and just after that, if I will write an else condition, if ARR of I is greater than first, in that case, first is equals to ARR of I. So with this approach, or with this statement, you will get, okay, uh, what I can do is from this I will be getting the greatest number. If in an array, if we have an array which have some values, if we have to find the greatest number, then what you can do is you can iterate in that array, write ARR of I, and then do it again and again. And first will get updated only when you get a greater number. So here first will be the greatest number. First will be the greatest number. And in this case, what you are checking is if the number which is coming right here is smaller than is smaller than the normal one, or what we can do is it is smaller than our greater number and is greater than our second number, then we have to update it off. So now let's quickly go into the code and try to figure out how it will work, because in the code I think you will get it in bit more structured way. So now let's stop this console. I will be writing int first and int. Okay, let me write it with this only. Int min, int second, int min. So it just means the minimum values. Writing the for loop from int I equals to 0, and which is going to be I equals to n, then doing I plus plus, and just writing the first condition. If if we get a number ARR of I, which is smaller than our first, and and along with that, that ARR of I is also greater than our second, in that case, what we have to do, we have to just update our second equals to ARR of I. And in the else condition, if it will not be like just else, it will be else if our ARR of I is 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 greater than our first also. Let me give some space here. Yeah. If it is greater than our first, in that case, what we have to do is, in that case, we have to update our second also, because our second will become first, because our first is going to become ARR of I. Just simple. So what will be happening here is, if I have to iterate in this, first of all, this condition is to check if we have a number which is smaller than our greatest number and our greater than our previous second greatest number, then we will update it. Otherwise, in else condition, if we get a number which is greater than our first number also, if we get a number which is greater than first number, it means the number which we thought was greatest is our will be becoming our second greatest, and the number which we thought is greatest is our greatest number. So that's how we will update both of the values. Now let's dive into the question statement and see there will be an edge case of -1. But still, now let's, okay, I think we will get nothing in this because we didn't return anything. Return 2. It might pass some of the test cases, but uh, 2 was okay, not 2, it is like second. Now let's run this. Now from here you might be thinking, okay, this is done, but for some of the test cases, we earlier failed in the third test case, which was now passing off. But in the fourth test case, we have to, like, right now we can see the test case, but in the problem statement, there is also another thing which is written. If no such element is present, if all the elements are similar, which I have talked in the beginning only, and in that case, we have to print -1. So for that, what we can do is we can write a if condition if our second is equals to int min. If our second never ever updated, in that case, we will just return -1. Now let's see. Now let's run the test cases which we have. All of them are passing, submitting a code, checking larger test cases, and it got accepted. Yeah. So that's how this whole thing works fine in this manner. So in this manner, we are able to pass out all the test cases. Sorting is not the best way, but still we are able to do it with this approach. So that's all for the video. So from now onwards, we will be solving off question in more direct way. There will be not that much explanation about each thing. The logic we will be discussing, we will be solving it in online compiler. You can go here, you can check out the solutions. There will be hints and solution. You can go, you can check a hint and solve it out with yourself. So that's all for the video. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching.